Getting proper mental health care can help you feel more like you. That's why Cerebral offers convenient access to online mental health services, including therapy and medication management. Cerebral's diverse clinician team can help with anxiety, insomnia, relationship issues, workplace stress, and more. You can schedule and communicate with your care team through Cerebral's mobile app and attend your sessions from the comfort of your own home. Get started with or without insurance. Plus, you can use your FSA or HSA. Start your first month for 50% off at Cerebral.com/ACAST.
Hello, it's Dave here. I'm with my wife, Cathy.
Hello.
We are walking to the cinema to see Thor, Ragnarok, the latest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, firstly, if you go back and listen to episode 2 of this podcast, we went to see Captain America: Civil War early last year, and I don't know if this is a direct quote, but I'm going to paraphrase Cathy, and it was something like, "I'm never going to see another one of these stupid Marvel movies again." So how's that going for you, Cathy?
Well, actually, then we started a movie podcast, so it hasn't gone very well for me.
We started a movie podcast. That was the second episode.
Well,
we had already started.
That was the second episode, and at that point, no one had ever listened to us, so I didn't realise what we'd committed ourselves to. So yeah, I've been to see most of them since then. Now, to be fair,
yeah, you went to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. You went to Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I like Guardians of the Galaxy, so I went to that for fun. I hated Captain America. I went to see Spider-Man: Homecoming because Scroobius Pip came with us, so I wasn't going to not go.
You were
going to
go anyway.
I wasn't. I went because he was going, and I wanted to go with him. And now, I have been quoted as saying that Thor is my favourite movie, so I'm happy to go and see Thor Ragnarok.
My favourite Marvel movie.
My favourite Marvel
favourite movie.
Oh God, no, not my favourite movie. My favourite Marvel
Best movie of all time.
I like a Marvel movie when they're fun, stand alone, and don't take themselves too seriously. So in that sense, I loved Thor the first time I saw it, like genuinely loved it. Really liked Ant-Man when I saw it, and I really liked Guardians of the Galaxy. Now Thor 2, I have to say I don't recall, and I wasn't particularly blown away by, but I've seen that this one is apparently really funny, so I'm interested.
Can you recount what happened in Thor 1 and 2?
Thor 1, yes. This is his origin story, and his brother was evil, and he landed on Earth, and it was a really...
Spoilers for Thor 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, you asked me.
Sorry.
My favourite thing about Thor 1 was like the fish out of water stuff with him landing on Earth. Like, it was really funny, and I think Chris Hemsworth's a really, really good comedic actor as well as being incredibly good looking.
I need a horse.
Yeah, so I just loved all the fish out of water stuff. So Thor 2, I don't quite recall... But it didn't really have the same humour or charm, and it was a little bit all over the place.
What do you remember happening in Thor 2?
I have to say nothing.
Okay, that's interesting.
And also, I know loads of people like Loki as a villain, Tom Hiddleston. I'm not into it, or him. So
he's great fun.
I really hope that Loki isn't back as the villain in this one.
Okay, what do you know about this one? Have you seen any trailers?
Well, actually, I saw... a couple of months ago, I did a Beauty and the Beast episode by myself because I was at this special ABC screening day. And actually had seen rough footage of this, which I had signed all this non-disclosure stuff, so I couldn't talk about it.
Did you?
I know, right? So I do know the plot of this
pants.
movie. I saw all these initial drawings that they were showing us of him and the Hulk battling in an arena.
Yeah.
So I know that there's some sort of gladiator arena with him and Hulk have been captured and they're fighting each other.
Yeah.
Because I had seen that stuff. Now since that I haven't seen a trailer, but I'm excited because I love the Hulk and I love Mark Ruffalo. So to have Mark Ruffalo and Chris Hemsworth on screen to me is like the hottest combination of man. And they're both really funny, and I really like both their characters.
And this movie has Jeff Goldblum, Cate Blanchett.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Loki's back. This is a great cast in this.
No,
also,
I don't want Loki. I'm sorry. Anyone who calls himself Hiddleswift should not
he
be
didn't
a
call
movie
himself
star.
that. The media did.
He wore a t-shirt that said I love... No, I actually do love Taylor Swift, but he wore a t-shirt that said I love Taylor Swift.
You're just jealous because you think you love Taylor Swift more than he did.
I can't take him seriously. But yeah, anyway, I'm really excited about this movie. I know I said I was never going to go to a Marvel movie again. I did not engage in your Marvel movie marathon that you did.
No, if anyone's interested, I watched all the Marvel movies up to Civil War back to back in a row by myself.
Yeah, it was really tragic.
No, I had a few
sad
guests on.
event in your life.
It was pathetic and embarrassing.
Yeah,
But I also loved every minute of it.
Basically, I went away for the weekend and Dave watched like 20 movies back to back and recorded the entire event.
It was the whole weekend, and then I had to go to work after it.
It was very strange.
Sad. I'm very excited about this movie also because it's directed by Tahiti Wahihi. I can't say his name.
Oh, I love him, the New Zealand guy.
The Kiwi guy who directed What We Do in the Shadows, which is my favourite comedy of the last 10 years.
Very, very funny movie.
So good. And he also directed The Hunt for the Wilder People.
Oh yeah, that was
with
really
Sam
good.
Neill, which was really sweet and nice. So he's just a real. I really wish this man all the success in the world.
And he's the classic example of Marvel taking someone who's done something really well on a small scale and like allowing them to work on a big scale, which is cool that Marvel
and
do
then
that.
like taking away all their creativity and anything that's interesting about them and forcing them to churn out
I don't
sort
think
of
Marvel do that. I think that's more
middle of the road movie with no edges or nothing.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think that's more of a Disney move on Star Wars.
Yeah, but
where you start giving
exactly
them,
right.
you
but
let them start directing it, and then you take it away from them,
and then you fire them halfway through for being too interesting, and creative. See Lord and Miller Ari Han Solo movie. No, I'm sorry. Disney owns Marvel, and the same shit's happening. And the same thing happened with Edgar Wright on Ant-Man. You get little flashes of creativity. And
Ant-Man was really funny.
Yeah, Ant-Man was. Don't get me wrong. I love these Marvel movies. They're great fun, but they kind of are all the same.
Except for Guardians,
which they have to be because I guess it's a cinematic universe, so there should be consistency. But it's kind of sad when you get these amazingly talented and inventive directors, and you just get a sort of a samey product with little flashes of the flair.
Well, let's judge the product after we've seen it.
No, I prefer to judge movies by their covers.
And
we need to go in.
The other thing we want to say beforehand is I recall in your Marvel marathon, which I have to confess I didn't even listen to it, which is so
You didn't
terrible.
listen to my Marvel marathon?
Because it was you're my co-host, so it was our podcast, and I just said I can't even listen to this.
Are you kidding me?
No, I never listened.
I listen to your ones when I'm not on them.
I listened to the other ones, but I was like, I'm not listening to you drunkenly ramble about Marvel.
You
were drunk.
I was only drunk for part of it.
But where did you rank Thor? Because I recall that you ranked them all.
Oh, I don't remember. I was drunk.
Was it up top?
It was
like the way it's my number one. Was it your number one?
No, my number one was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
Thor was maybe somewhere in the middle towards the top.
Okay, so but you like the more serious ones that I think are. It's the more serious Marvel movies try to make themselves, i.e. Captain America, the more I think they're a complete fucking joke, because it's like, stop trying to take yourself seriously and just embrace what you are, and Thor embraces what they are. I hope.
Do you know how often you say the phrase "takes itself too seriously"? Like all the time.
If they think anyway,
it's gonna say that on your tombstone.
Yeah.
They didn't take herself too seriously.
But we better go because it's really cold and I want to get into the cinema.
All right, here we go.
Bye.
I'm excited.
So much has happened since I last saw you. I lost my hammer, like yesterday, so that's still pretty fresh. And then I went on a journey of self-discovery, where I met you. Where are we? You have no idea. Hela, the goddess of death, has invaded Asgard.
Oh, I've missed this.
And you and I had a fight recently.
Did I win?
No, I won, easily.
Doesn't sound right.
Well, it's true.
All right, we're out of the movie. We're walking home. What'd you think of that? We won't talk any spoilers. As always, we'll wait till spoiler street.
I thought it was too long, which is just at this point always going to be what I think of a Marvel movie.
I mean, you can't accuse it of taking itself too seriously,
No,
which is what you always say.
It didn't take itself too seriously.
I would say it didn't take itself seriously enough.
So, what I liked about it was Chris Hemsworth obviously is always very, very good as Thor.
He's got amazing comic timing.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Isn't he? He's like a natural comedian.
Stand out, the best Avenger, I think. And then I really enjoyed the overall humour of it. Like, there's quite a light touch to it. I really enjoyed all the plots with Thor and the Hulk, all that aspect of it. And the standout for me was Tessa Thompson, the actress, who I love.
She's excellent.
She's such a cool actress. I think she's fast becoming my favourite actress. So we first saw her in Creed, which was the Rocky sequel.
No, we saw Dear White People before that, I think.
I can't remember. Anyway, she's really stood out to me in Creed. She's really good in Dear White People. And then she popped up in Westworld this year, and now she's like the absolute standout as Valkyrie in this movie.
Yeah, she's a badass.
Badass. And like, you know, these Marvel movies have had very few female interesting characters. They have Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, but I never find Black Widow
She's kind of lame
or interesting.
There's something lame about Scarlett Johansson's delivery of Black Widow.
And I don't think it's necessarily Scarlett Johansson's fault. I think Black Widow has never been particularly well written, and it's always a bit of a downer, whereas Valkyrie was fun and interesting and had a good backstory, but mainly the actress is so charismatic that she really like elevates the screen. And I think her and Chris Hemsworth had much better chemistry than he ever did with Natalie Portman. Mm-hmm. So I thought that really lifted it. I really enjoyed the humour, like the rock monster. I thought he was funny.
Voiced by the director, amazing.
Yeah, I love that New Zealand accent. And then, I thought it was all really well cast. Like Jeff Goldblum's really enjoyable. But I thought, for me, the downside of it was the villain, the Cate Blanchett character. I found that really flat and just villain for villain's sake. And every time I cut back to the Cate Blanchett stuff, I was like, no, go back to the fun Thor and Hulk stuff.
Same. Okay, so I really enjoyed it. It's really funny. Like, it's laugh out loud funny.
There was lots of laughs.
It's more of an out and out comedy, I would say. But I think that's the problem. The villain didn't work because there was no dramatic tension throughout the whole movie. She's supposed, and there should be, because I guess we'll talk more about in spoilers, but specifically why she should have worked. But the comedy undercut any chance at drama there was throughout the whole movie, and there are a few moments where they could have inserted some serious pathos and drama, but it always ends in a punchline. Every single scene has a punchline, and they're great punchlines, and it's very, very funny. But the movie just can't ever lift the stakes because there are none. We're just watching a series of hilarious circumstances and events, and it's pretty much the plot felt very much just Thor bumbling around from sequence to sequence without any real drive or motivation. Yeah,
and even the stuff with Loki, and I know I gave him a hard time on the way in, but obviously, like Tom Hiddleston. He's a good actor, right? He plays Loki well. But like from scene to scene, I was like, wait, what's the relationship between these two? Are they allies? Are they not? I couldn't remember the second movie, so I was a bit flummoxed at the start of the movie as to what was happening with them. And like it was literally scene to scene, their relationship was changing, and not in a dynamic, natural way, in a weird way that was hard to follow.
But to be fair, that is that's deliberately their relationship, because he's the god of mischief and can never be trusted. And can he be trusted? Can't he be trusted?
Made it hard as if you were to care, like even if there was conflict between them, because in the next scene they're not like.
Getting proper mental health care can help you feel more like you. That's why Cerebral offers convenient access to online mental health services, including therapy and medication management. Cerebral's diverse clinician team can help with anxiety, insomnia, relationship issues, workplace stress, and more. You can schedule and communicate with your care team through Cerebral's mobile app and attend your sessions from the comfort of your own home. Get started with or without insurance. Plus, you can use your FSA or HSA. Start your first month for 50% off at Cerebral.com/ACAST.
There's no conflict again. So, you know what I mean? Like that, I think another thing that made it not very dramatic or tense.
Did you think, I mean, you turned to me during the movie when the Hulk came up and asked, was this spoiled in the trailers? And it was. And do you think that if they'd held back that moment, it would have been a lot
that would have
better?
Been awesome, yeah. If the Hulk had come out and we weren't expecting him, I would have really enjoyed that.
Because it was like the whole time you're just waiting for the Hulk. And this is the problem with trailers these days for movies we're going to go see anyway. There's just no point in watching them. The Star Wars trailer was playing when we sat down, and I just got up and left.
Yeah, you don't want to ruin it for yourself.
Because what's the point? I'm not just like, it's just going to have loads of bits from the movie, and then I sit through the movie waiting to see the bits that I've seen in the trailer.
And I was waiting. I mean, I knew the Hulk thing because of that other day I'd been at, but as you said, it was in the trailers anyway. So yeah, I was just waiting for the Hulk to come out. Now, I'm not one for a big fight scene. There's quite a big fight scene at the start of the movie, which I completely tuned out of. But I loved every second of Hulk and Thor in the arena. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, it was.
Now, I always love kind of a gladiator scene anyway, but that was real, like, pure joy. And then
the size of that stadium was kind of ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, yeah. But
no,
it
doesn't make sense. Like, if you were, but from a logistical point of view, it's two tiny people. Like, it made the Hulk look tiny.
I know,
how big it was, and the amount of people. Like, if you were up in the rafters, there's no way you're seeing anything.
It felt very Hunger Games-ish, didn't it?
I just felt bad for those people who had the shit tickets.
I know. Well, they're like aliens, so maybe if you've really like good alien sight, you go up the top or something. And I thought Jeff Goldblum.
You think there's some sort of like
Jeff
caste
Goldblum was
system
perfect. Yeah.
about where you get to sit?
I love Jeff Goldblum, and I loved his assistant, the woman from
Hunt for the Wilder People.
She's excellent.
She was great.
And then the other thing,
a lot of Kiwi accents in
what
this.
didn't work for me was the 80s synth soundtrack. I was like, look, we get it, like everyone likes Stranger Things, but
do you think it was a bit try hard?
Yeah, it just didn't fit with the movie. Like, it didn't fit to me. Now, I know I've forgotten the second Thor movie, but it didn't fit with the first Thor movie at all.
Nope. I would say
it's very jarring.
The first two Thor movies kind of feel similar. The second one is a bit more serious, a bit more Game of Thronesy actually, and I think the director of that was a Game of Thrones director. But you're right, he very much chose an aesthetic for this, and it's 80s sci-fi, sort of neon and synth, and it's deliberate. But I like that. I'm very into that aesthetic, and it was very effectively done. But you're right, it doesn't quite feel right for Thor. Particularly when you see the people of Asgard and they're all dressed like in medieval.
Yeah, it felt weird.
Garb, because that kind of conflicts. But that's what's interesting about this Marvel Cinematic Universe, because you've got all these different sort of genres and styles in the same place. Because it's almost like he stepped into the Guardians of the Galaxy world when he went to Jeff Goldblum's.
Yeah, it
planet.
felt, and it worked in Guardians of the Galaxy because that was new and that was its own world. So it made sense when that had all, the really funky soundtrack and visuals, but this felt a bit, because I thought, isn't this supposed to be a bit kind of like his family are almost like Roman or something, like they're not this, and there's like a sequence on the bridge, which the bridge has always been a bit trippy and neon-y, the Asgard bridge, so there's a kind of an 80s fight sequence going on, and then there's kind of like refugees like going into Noah's Ark.
So spoilers alert here.
Well, it's not spoiler, just the visuals didn't add up for me.
Right, okay.
All
right, well, let's just turn on to spoiler streets and talk some specifics here.
So the ending.
What do you want to talk about?
The ending, I just was so disinterested. I just thought, of course they're going to be Kate Blanchett. Like, there's no peril here for me. I don't care about any of them. I really enjoyed the Revengers gag, and I really enjoyed that it wasn't like, the way the Captain America movie we saw had all of them in it, and it just felt like another Avengers movie. Mm-hmm. This didn't, and I liked the kind of merry band of Thor, Valkyrie, Hulk, the guy that Idris Elba plays, and Loki, actually. So I liked the five of them fighting side by side. That was really fun.
Plus, all the side characters. The side characters were great. Like the Rock Monster was just kind of
funny.
A real standout.
Yeah, but just to me, no peril, and ultimately I wasn't engaged with it. And then when it ended,
same.
like, okay, fine, Asgard, as they say, is the people, not the place, 100 times. It ends, and then straight after the first lot of credits, it's like, ooh, they're in peril again already. This is another movie we're teeing up.
I know, but
sure,
it's a never-ending wheel of money. This whole thing.
Yeah, and
it's never going to stop.
All the stuff with Anthony Hopkins dying didn't really make sense, and actually, Anthony Hopkins used to be really evil.
I mean, come
FYI.
on, it was the equivalent of the power was within you the whole time.
Yeah, you don't need your hammer.
It's like that old 80s trope where you give someone the placebo, and they were like, that wasn't the real.
And they kept calling Thor the god of thunder, but he was like shooting lightning.
I know, but lightning comes with thunder.
But was he always the god of thunder then?
Okay. That's how storms work.
But was he always the god of thunder? I thought he was the god of lightning.
He's the god of thunder, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the god of lightning doesn't sound as cool.
But yeah, anyway, look, I don't have much to say on spoilers other than no sense of peril and all very jarring visually.
But that's the point I was making earlier. There was no peril because it was all comedy. Like, literally their entire civilization and planet was destroyed, and then there was a gag from the Rock Monster about oh, as long as the foundations are there, it's like, no, don't leave that moment be dramatic.
Yeah, that should have
Like,
been a beautiful, sad moment.
Let it hang. They're all looking at their entire world and home be destroyed, and they went for a gag. I thought
why
that was
are they all dressed like
absolutely
something
inappropriate.
from like the Holocaust? Like that was like visually what I thought they were almost trying to represent. And then it's like the 80s synth battle going on in Kate Blanchett. Like, no, I love Kate Blanchett. I think she's an amazing actress. What's she doing in this movie? Like, she's way too good for it, and she
was very sexy.
Like this in
don't you
two
think?
ways.
She looked pretty hot in her
She looked
leather
hot,
catsuit.
but in two ways I thought she was wrong for it. Because A, she's too good an actress for the movie, and B, she didn't act particularly well in the movie.
No,
because
come
of
on.
the nature of what she was probably doing, which was just running around in front of a blue screen.
I thought, yeah, but
So ultimately, for her, I don't think it did anything.
No,
Other
it's
than
not.
it was shot around where she lives, I assume, 'cause she lives in Sydney.
it was Australia, the
So,
Gold Coast.
Yeah, it would have suited her schedule, probably.
I don't think this is Kate Blanchett's fault that character failed. I think that's
No, it's not her fault.
That's the writing and the fact that this is a comedy. So her evil, like the fact that she was the most powerful and evil creature on the planet, on the
that
world,
didn't make sense.
didn't matter because it was all just played for laughs.
But how is she the most powerful evil goddess of death? No one's ever fucking heard of her before, and only where's she been this whole time? And she suddenly just materializes.
She was banished by
Yeah, but they say,
Odin or whatever.
Odin dies and now she's back again. So if she's that powerful, for Thor's entire existence, she's just been doing nothing?
Yeah.
So therefore she wasn't threatening, and I don't feel like she earned her title the goddess of death.
Yeah, but she destroyed his hammer at the beginning, so she should have been more threatening. And to be fair, I think Kate Blanchett did a fine job here. She was having fun, she was hamming it up.
She looked a bit like Claire when she had the head bit on, making her hair look short. She looked like Claire Underwood, didn't she? Like Robin Wright. She looked really like her.
Yeah,
I was getting a bit confused.
Robin Wright could have played this if
Yeah.
she wasn't in Wonder Woman.
But yeah, so I felt all that stuff was just, I wasn't into it. And I also, Thor's got another bad sibling with like black hair. Visually, her and Loki look like the same person.
What else? I felt like there was more I wanted to talk about.
Well, you loved the soundtrack, didn't you? You said you liked that.
I thought it was pretty cool, but
Yeah.
I like sort of retro synth stuff.
And I just don't think there's that much for us to say. Like, I'm kind of disappointed, even though like I had lots of laughs and I had a bit of fun with it.
Oh, but do you know what? This Thor: The Dark World had there's a moment, and spoilers for that movie. There's a moment where his mother dies, and they have her funeral, and it's a really beautiful scene. And there's this old sort of Nordic tradition of the boat going out, and all these flaming arrows go out, and it's really lovely, and the music is quite touching. There's nothing like that moment in here. And Anthony Hopkins died. They kind of tried to
Did
do
he
something
even really
like that.
die though? I wasn't
I
sure.
don't know.
I
He
thought he
just-
was still alive, to be honest. Like, I didn't really get any of that scene.
But sure, no one really dies in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
They just come back 3 movies from now.
Yeah, so I didn't think Odin had died either. So again, there was no stake really there. And like, really, if it was Loki's fault that he died, like Thor got over that pretty quickly.
But also they undercut the whole. They end the last movie with this big teaser, like, oh, Loki's taken over and he's pretending to be Odin, and you think, oh my god, wow. And then at the beginning of this movie, it's just like, oh, it's played for laughs, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Thor knew the whole time. There he is.
And that's it.
And that's it. Let's move on. Let's do a new adventure.
Yeah.
And also, it felt like very deliberately they were just like almost retconning the other 2 Thor movies. Like, fuck them, don't worry about them, because they killed his entire party of friends without batting an eyelid.
Oh my god, I meant to say that.
Like-
Like they killed all of his friends who I recognised them from the other movies,
Yeah.
albeit I didn't recall them.
And to be
particularly.
fair, look, they weren't particularly
But
memorable.
what about his lady friend with the black hair? Where was she?
Now, I
She
think
didn't show
she
up in
shows
this
up in
once.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on TV. I think
Okay.
she's got other
Yeah,
adventures,
because I
whatever.
was
but-
looking for her, but I recognised all the men.
don't know,
Yeah,
I don't
just
watch that
killed
show.
callously. And some of the scenes in Asgard, because they were so hammy and kind of garishly coloured, was actually reminding me of this Marvel thing we watched last week called The Inhumans, which is a TV show if anyone's seen it, and it's like really naff. And it
So
looked like
naff.
that. Like, it didn't look to
Ah,
me like
come on.
you like
No,
a
the Inhumans.
multi-million-dollar
The
movie.
Inhumans looks appallingly
Well, I
bad.
thought this looked like that, honestly, like the Asgard stuff, and when they all just got killed. Oh, and then she brings back a bloody Army
of the Dead. That
Oh,
didn't really. Who cares?
dull, yeah.
That was boring.
Really boring.
It was all just really dull. The
And
stuff,
then
the only stuff that popped was the stuff with on Jeff Goldblum's Trash Planet.
But which
of
was
the
essentially
gladiators.
like the Hunger Games, or any fun movie like that.
Yeah.
It's not a Marvel movie. But
But
look,
don't
we
you
should wrap
think
up.
there's zero world building in these movies?
No, they just dump you in it.
And I felt like it's the same with Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a whole universe of stuff here, but we don't get any sense of what alien creatures or what ruling authorities there are. There's none of that. It's just like, oh, this is happening, jokes.
Yeah, and Bruce Banner or Hulk has been missing for 2 years. No big deal. Like he says the Hulk. I've been the Hulk for 2 years, and if I turn back into the Hulk now, I'm disappearing forever, right? And then he turns into the Hulk at the end of the movie.
That was a pretty good gag, though.
That was a good gag. But then I'm like, okay, so what does this mean for Bruce Banner? No exploration of that, because that's really serious if he's going to be the Hulk forever.
Yeah.
And one other note on the Hulk I really enjoyed. I've never seen him talking and interacting, and I was like, oh my god, that's Joey Tribbiani.
Well, yeah.
He looks like Joey,
he
talks
does,
like Joey, acts like Joey.
But I liked that there's actually an explanation of that Mark Ruffalo gave. I think that it's because the Hulk, because he's been the Hulk for like 2 years, he kind of has developed the intelligence of a toddler almost.
Okay, yeah, like that was really fun.
By the way, quick side note, did you see all the fuck-ups that Mark Ruffalo did on the press tour of this movie?
No.
Like he was doing like a live stream on Instagram during the premiere and forgot to turn it off, and then accidentally live streamed the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Really?
There was that.
God, that's like Prue and Bake Off.
He gave a spoiler in an interview for like something that happens in the next Avengers movie that he wasn't supposed to.
It's because he's just phoning it in. Because if ever a character is just doing stuff in front of like green screen with a costume on, it's him.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so overall, let's leave it there. I think it was fun. I'd recommend it. I'd watch it again.
I'd watch it over the second one.
Yeah, it was
but
great.
I won't
it was great
ever watch
crack.
it again.
There was just really, really smart gags in here like that. Like he's a strong comedy director. This
but
guy.
I think his other two movies are better. Like What We Did in the Shadows is such a better movie than
Please
that.
go watch What We Do in the Shadows,
Yeah.
everyone. If
It's
you
on
haven't
Netflix.
seen that, no, it's not on Netflix
Oh.
anymore because we tried to watch it the other night. Do you remember? And it was gone.
Oh well, anyway, watch it. It's
All
somewhere.
right, come on, we better.
Okay, we
better
better
get
go.
home. Thanks for listening, guys. Let us know what you thought of Thor Ragnarok. Do you agree with what we said?
Yes.
We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram at The Cinemile.
And we're at thecinemile@gmail.com. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to us on iTunes
Or
and
Acast. And leave us a review.
Leave us a review. That
That
would be
really,
fabulous.
really, really helps get the word out.
Yeah, okay.
It gets our words out.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
I really wish I had my hammer.
Hammer?
Quite unique. It was made from this special metal from the heart of a dying star. And when I spun it really, really fast, it gave me the ability to fly.
You rode a hammer.
No, I didn't ride the hammer.
The hammer rode you on your back.
No. I used to spin it really fast, and it would pull me off
Oh my God! The hammer pulled you off.
the ground. It would pull me off the ground up into the air, and I would fly. Every time I threw it, it would always come back to me.
Sounds like you had a pretty special and intimate relationship with this hammer, and that losing it was almost comparable to losing a loved one.
It's a nice way of putting it.